One chair.
Your Holiness, what is justice?
Justice, I feel, on the basis of truth, some beneficial, that I think should be considered justice.
And what is reconciliation?
Reconciliation, I think in real sense, I think you can demand or you can ask more, but out of respect and also I think the understanding about others' difficulties, then you see they try to something, try to create room for others with a view or others with a right. Maybe there's, I think, the reconciliation.
And what is resistance?
Resistance, of course, they create obstacle to others, to other or the thing which you do not want.
What is resignation?
I think open dictionary. Resignation. In what sense or that? What sense? In general sense or more philosophical sense?
General sense.
General sense. Resignation. Resignation. No longer, persistence. Sorry. Or withdraw. I don't know. You are something, but then you see difficult, or find it difficult, or you have another sort of option or view or some other reasons, then not pursue continuously. Perhaps. But I'm not very sure. Especially and particularly the word, this English word, they say, I don't know the exact meaning. So that also is a complication. But in any way, as far as I understand the meaning of these words, then accordingly I answered, oh, yes.
And when does resistance need force?
Force, I think there is a different kind of force. The force or force or power, even the non-violence. See, if your case is justified or just case or truth, then its own sort of is a force or power. Then, in another sense, force means a little bit pressure, or pressure, not only pressure, I think physical sort of pressure. That more or less is related with violence. From the Buddhist viewpoint, the method, is not the 그래서 담에 다 주셔야지.
Method is not the final conclusion.
The motivation and goal, these two things are more important. Particularly, motivation is very important. So, sincere motivation and goal or aim, benefit for other, or benefit for some, for justice or something good. Then, under particular circumstances, exceptional circumstances, you could use force or violence. But then again, what is the meaning of violence? Again, I think on the depth or deeper meaning, we can't judge action or any action. Consider, the demarcation, the violence and non-violence, cannot based on superficial appearances. Now, some physical action as well as verbal action looks very polite, is very gentle, but behind this action, underneath some kind of very negative motivation, cheating or harming or exploiting. Then, of course, that action is essentially violence. On the other hand, with sincere motivation and use in order to save the other one, in order to help the other, they use some harsh word. There's even some harsh physical action that looks wrathful or harsh, but in reality, the compassionate action. So therefore, essentially non-violence. So in any way, under such, when she uses force, it depends on many, I think, many factors. But theoretically speaking, yes, violence could use. But then, once you committed violence, it is very, very unpredictable. So once you committed violence, then eventually it lead somehow say very, very serious negative consequences, which originally you never even thought such things. So it is far better, safer, avoid violence. So that's my personal belief.
What is a positive person?
Positive person. I feel good heart, warm heart. That's, I think, the main criteria. Criteria, sense of motivation. And then second, ability, knowledge, experience, all these, of course, involve. And the physical appearance also, you see, involve. But that, I think, at least not important. And voice, everything, you see, involve. That's why in Buddhist scripture, in order to serve other, in order to serve larger interest, good health, good appearance, good sound, all these involved. Not personal sort of ambition or something, but you see, these are the part of the factor you can you can serve more effectively or more better way. But main thing is the motivation. I think the motivation, the compassionate motivation, that I think something absolute. So long the compassionate motivation is there, it is 100% sure that some good things will come. But the other things, say the health or the well-built body, these whether can go negative side or right side, positive side, not sure. If you see the use, if goes to the right direction, then these are, I mean, good thing. Additional sort of facilities. If go wrong thing, then it also can be very additional sort of the force of the negative things. But as far as motivation, compassionate motivation is concerned, I think it's always good, always positive. So similarly, hatred, always negative. That's my feeling.
What is a compromise, and where does one set the limit?
Compromise, I feel the sort of is 50-50. So that means either one, not complete loser. If other one is completely lose, that isn't not compromise, just a defeat, isn't it? So perhaps compromise 50-50, then if not 55 and 45, that maybe little differences, but broadly speaking, still compromise.
What is unity, and how much criticism is tolerable?
Unity, agreement, or harmony. Criticism, again, now criticism out of compassion, out of sense of concern, and out of respect. As far as criticism itself is concerned, positive. But then person who is receiving criticism from other, sometimes you see, lose temper. That's his or her fault, not the criticism's fault. But then again, now even as the criticism, well basis, well reason, or reason, or say, well basis, or truth. Again, you see, out of negative motivation, then again, you see, become altogether different.
What do you fear? What do you fear?
Myself. She do say. Fear. Bad bug. A mosquito. Or the what other call? Because scorpion, sorry. Scorpion. I don't fear much. That we can see, I mean, very quite rare. See, we can we can manage. But mosquitoes sometimes when we lay down very peacefully, that comes. And bad bug. Fear, of course. Then I think death, of course. I think the immediate sort of, I think the emotional reaction to the death, of course, fear. But then I think the intellectual level, or the level of, a level of mind, or I think the level of mind. Now here the mind means certain mental attitude out of practice. Then there's no reason to fear death. And then old age, again similar. But old age come gradually. Now, for example, someone with white hair, here and here, and losing your teeth or these come gradually. So not much sort of the reaction, not that bad, because it's something not as a certain or dramatic way. But death is something very, and that also I think they depend on long illness and old age, and long illness may be easier. But in any way, as far as my own is concerned, my own case, of course, in my daily practice, especially in tantric practice, some kind of, I said, a very systematic preparation for death. So sometimes I do feel some kind of, excitement if real death comes, and how much what kind of process really is to come, and how much I can implement that kind of feeling. But then last year I visited South Africa. Then there, I love the animals, in the wild animal, not in zoo. So we visited the animal sanctuary, or animal sanctuary. In the morning, I'm very, very keen to see one elephant. So morning, fail to see with some small mammals. Then we, evening, once again tried to see. Then from distance, we saw one or two elephants. Then we want to approach closer. Then when we reach, it's quite close, I think, a few yards. Then the elephant attitude, shouting or something. Everybody very much fear. The desire, this morning, is very keen to approach closer. That moment, just opposite desire. Oh, as soon as run away from it, more distance. So that is fear. I think reasonable fear. I think that's good fear. Yes.
How can hatred between different ethnic groups, cultures, and religions be reduced? And how can a lasting world peace of cultures be achieved?
There are also, I think, varieties. Some cases, just because there are differences, so you feel some kind of uncomfortable when you see some different things. Then another, that's I think the foolish. That's just childish or something, very foolish. The second, you're a minority. So you feel, whether true or not, so you feel some kind of danger of the dominant, what's it? Dominant, I think. The greater sort of the cultural heritage. Sometimes I think the mental projection. But sometimes I think real is true. Then under that circumstances, this is some kind of the hatred or dislike the other one. I think there are also, I think, maybe still, I think, two, I think, subdivisions sort of divisions. One, even though there is way or method, to protect yourself, still you feel some negative feeling. I think that is again, I think due to ignorance or due to, I think, too much prejudice. I think prejudice. You don't need, because there is way to protect you. No. But then other, there's no other way. The danger is real. And then I think further, I think the divisions, maybe subdivisions, then if you think about one's own cultural heritage. just, you see, emotionally, or this is our culture, irrespective of whether you see, that culture is relevant to today's world or today's life. That also, I think, they're foolish. So there's some kind of ill feeling towards the other one, because there's some danger, but actually your culture is not much relevant. And then in that case, I think that kind of negative attitude is, I think, foolish. Now the other one, I think that maybe last, there is real threat. At the same time, your cultural heritage is really relevant in today's life. So really worthwhile to protect. And then, you see, against the other force, including some kind of the negative emotion, then could be justified. But still, these are difficult, complicated.
Do you think a lasting world peace between the cultures can be achieved?
That is certainly, each different group of people, even within one country, so there are different the way of life, due to environment, due to I don't know how to say, the hilly people, they have their own way of life, and the plain, they have their own life. So seashore, and they have their own way of life. So according the cultural heritage, generally speaking, I think they develop according the environment or this way of life, including temperature. So it fit the concerned community. So the others, the culture, also you see I mean, it is beneficial or something. It's good for that community. So they understand our culture, my culture is something relevant my own community. So they also have it's a similar situation. So as I have the right, they also have the right. Now only thing is coexistence and mutual understanding, mutual respect, like religious faith. Then also I think the differences or contradictions always there, but then in order to save common interest, you see, some smaller contradictions, you see, you can bear it. You can bear. Okay? You can tolerate. So I think that's the exact situation now today. Now, for example, the different religious tradition. Now, from certain is the concept of certain is a religious belief in the eyes of other tradition, usually, could be nihilism or some other extreme. So, in the practitioner's own case, that kind of, now for example, that kind of nihilism is intolerable because it is wrong according to your own belief. But then you see there are so many different people with different mental disposition. We have to, whether we like it or not, we have to live together. So under that circumstances, the only option is, you see, live happily, respect each other, understand each other's differences. So similarly, I think the different cultural heritage with the different people, different ethnic or different group of people. I think that's I think the basis. Now we have to live together. And it is far better live happily, respect each other, smile each other, showing each other genuine human feeling. That's much happier, much better. Whether you agree their view on their way of life or not. And also I think you have no right, you see, to control, to impose. You can't say, you see, I believe this, I don't believe that, so you see, you should follow, like myself. No, we have, say, I mean, say, no right to impose one's own belief or one's own way of life. So the only thing is respect. And theirs also have the, you see, unique things or good things. That's my belief.
And what is your hope for the future and for the next generation?
I always believe the humanity have the, ability, is it, to find ways and means to overcome differences or to overcome difficulties. So now we are entering a new century, 21st century. I personally believe that during this century, humanity learned many things. Now, for example, my own lifetime, now more than 62 years old. So this lifetime, the Second World War, and then many bloodshed. At the same time, the ending colonialism and national freedom, and nowadays the human right, human right on individual as well as the community, and also the right of self-determination, and also I think they respect various different culture. I think these are the change. So these, and then ecology. Now the time goes, more and more people now really showing the interest or the sense of, you see, the responsibility to look after our own planet. I think these are, and then also the sort of, I think, the feeling of fed up about violence and these weapons. Sometimes the people or nation is very much has the enthusiasm is to build these awful destructive weapons, and then you see show we have this, that is a weapon. That kind of proud, you see, to be proud with this. Now today, people, oh, everybody, I think including many scientists, oh, now this is so destructive. So I think these are, I feel, the good sign, the sign of humanity's way of thinking or way of looking to the, you see, to world or to these things. I think becoming more open, more, I think, reasonable, and looking these things from a wider perspective. So I believe the humanity becoming more mature. That's my feeling. So in any way, there's certain problems, I mean, some problems always remain. So long we human beings remain there, always some problems will remain. We can't escape from problems because it's our own creation. So long this wonderful brain there, wonderful problem, always remain there. So I think the already, I think the spirit of compromise. Now look, South Africa, and some cases failing, some cases succeeding. In any way, I think the concept of the dialogue or compromise in the spirit of reconciliation. Now this is, I think, growing, and it becomes something worldwide concept. Right? These are, I think, the new development. So the hopeful sign. I'm optimistic.
Thank you very much for your optimism, for the interview.